John, you stated to me that your middle name means Renaissance Man. Why did you not paint me a picture for our apartment? Why?
Because I didn't know I had this power.
I'm expecting to come into your house and to see a sculpture in the backyard, just like Renaissance Man. Come on, John.
Yeah, apparently, my mom, Marcus, explained my middle name to me recently, and it apparently means it's like Wei Hao, and it essentially
Do it all.
combined together it means kind of person of excellency, essentially, that I'm S tier in whatever I hop into, just a god tier human or something like that. But nothing like that crazy, but kind of
Ubermensch?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I am the Ubermensch. I have achieved Ubermensch. You're welcome, Nietzsche.
So now I just want John to I want to come up to John and just see him painting and just sculpting and then doing physics. I want him to realize this power that he didn't know he had.
Painting physics and then sculpting something with his feet.
Yes, exactly.
Sculpting the 3D model of his physics equations with his feet.
Yes, exactly.
And he paints the equations into a picture, into pure art, not just equations, but a artistic representation of them that actually makes sense to everyone that looks at them.
Sculpting theory.
Yes, exactly. So when are you gonna get on that, John?
Tomorrow.
Okay, good.
Easy. I mean, you're just gonna hop right into it, of course.
Easy, yes. I am a fucking demigod. It's not like I haven't even painted my 40k models yet.
Nope, not at all. It's not like
You can do that with your teeth.
I need it of my mind, bro. Get out of here.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, you already figured out telekinesis.
Yes.
You just hopped right into it.
I'm already an Esper. I've actually just sacrificed my entire family to Zinch, and I'm just centimeters away from just turned into ash.
He's mutating as we speak, just constant mutations because Zinch.
Yes. See, I'm still a nerd, even though 40k is pretty normal too.
40k is absolutely not normal.
No, 40k is pretty niche, I'd say.
Is it still niche?
Yeah, it's still niche.
In the nerd community, it's getting big. It's always been big, I guess, in the nerd community.
It's well known.
You're like a normie nerd for liking Warhammer, but you're not a normie. Normies don't know Warhammer, and if you walked up to a regular person on the street and said "blood for the blood god," they would run.
They would not respond. Give the proper response to that.
I'll just walk up to them and go, "Cadia stands."
Yeah, see, John, the proper response was death to the false gods for the Emperor.
Yes.
That is the proper response to blood for the blood god.
The corpse throne or something like that, right?
Oh, that is the chaos response. Down with the false emperor sitting on his, down with the corpse emperor sitting on his golden throne.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
Beautiful.
And then Karn the Betrayer. I love Karn the Betrayer.
Oh my God, are we doing this?
Just.
No, we're not doing it. Get me out. Somebody transition.
Eject.
Wait, what are we doing? What's happening?
We're getting out of 40k right now.
Why are we getting into 40k?
No, we can't go into this rabbit hole.
Why?
Yeah, if you go to a nerd convention and say blood for the blood god, though, most people would be like, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They would immediately respond.
I at least know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But if you are walking around a city and you just walk up to this random person on the street and be like, blood for the blood god, you're gonna be like, what the get away from me, man.
Just walk. I like John's idea. Just walk up to people. Acadia stands. The planet broke before the guard did.
Dude, I love the Imperial Guard. Drive me closer. I want to stab them with my sword. What's up?
People are just gonna think you're one of those crazy prophets, sitting on your soapbox preaching for the end of the world.
I mean, that is very much in the norm in 40k. That is very normal. In fact, it's preferable.
The entire concept of 40k is that the Empire is on a minute by minute basis having some kind of extreme crisis on its periphery.
And right now they actually have a legit demigod trying to put it back together while he's sitting there going, oh my god, I hate this. And he's written by a dude who fanatically loves him, so gives him plot armor up the ass. And he's still can't fix it, and it's just like, God, what's
Yeah, we're
happening?
ejecting.
Eject. So do you think they'll ever make a video game about the Skillian Blitz, Marcus?
Got me with my pants down. What are we talking about?
Talk about Mass Effect. Fake fan.
Dude, I'm a total fake fan. I've only played one of the Mass Effect games.
I completely
this.
forgot that like the filters
That
are
I hate-
stopping you from playing the
That
other.
I hated
games.
the color scheme of 2 so much
God.
that I quit.
So troll.
Literally just the color scheme. I'm like, fuck this.
You just seem to like,
No,
God, I love the story. Man, Rex is such a badass. I totally want to play this. God, this color though.
Where's my blue? I miss blue.
Okay, yes. Gef, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's something you know.
Lord of the Rings almost became mainstream, I feel like.
It's still pretty mainstream.
Yeah,
A lot
like-
of people know it.
I mean, it fucking won an Oscar
Yeah,
for
it's-
Best Picture.
A lot of people know it, but like at this point it's not very popular. And people haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah, but they've seen it.
like people and there's no like I guess there's a new show coming out. There were the Hobbit movies, but those I didn't.
It's definitely
did well,
surpassed
but
by
they-
Marvel and Star Wars when it comes to like mainstream nerd shit. It's like kind of like getting into that zone where it's still kind of mainstream, but not like
Marvel is not nerdy.
like-
What the hell?
No, Marvel's like the
But that's
the
what I'm
sports
saying. That's what I'm,
jocks of nerds.
that's what I'm saying though. Like Marvel's like so excessively mainstream, even though it's straight up comic book shit.
Yeah, now like everyone knows.
Like a couple of years ago,
Marvel.
it'd be like pretty lame to just watch a comic book movie.
True.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I should say like a
Yeah,
decade,
a
or so,
decade
like
ago,
a
when
decade and a
Iron
half.
Man didn't come out. Like, when Iron Man came
Yeah,
out,
like-
then it was like...
When Green Lantern was the most recent movie that had came
Oh
out.
my god, Ryan Reynolds! I forgot that movie.
I love that he shits on the movie in Deadpool.
Yeah, like now comic book stuff is just everything, and it's just.
And DC is just trying to be cool and they keep failing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But they have Wonder Woman
Yes.
coming out soon.
Isn't it shit?
Isn't it out?
I have no
Yeah, it
idea.
is
They
out,
leaked
isn't
it
it?
out.
I think it is. Let me double check.
It's
Wonder...
HBO or something.
Yeah, it is.
They released it like really low profile because they knew that it was gonna.
Dude, I saw so many ads for
5.6.
it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they're trying to see if they can like trap somebody with it.
Like when did you see ads for it?
Like a week ago.
I haven't
Very
seen ads for it
recently.
in a while.
Like a week.
Recently?
Yeah, recently.
yeah,
like a
very
week
recently
ago.
they dumped a shit ton of ads out.
I guess I'm just under a fucking rock.
I was getting
That's what
them
I
on
know.
my phone, on TV. I was getting banner ads.
I was just under a rock. Okay, I'm the weird one here.
Long story short, I just checked the IMDb and it's 5.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 61%. Metacritic is 59%.
Oof.
The critic is even bad.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, because they're really sympathetic to that kind of stuff.
Yikes indeed.
Mike and Ike's.
I, for one,
It's to be
am
expected.
happy about that because I don't like superhero shows and movies. So,
I mean, yeah, I'm not really a huge fan anymore either.
but John, I was never a fan. You've merely adopted this. I was born in it. As I quote,
Oh, what a
Bye.
as I
hipster.
quote, a superhero.
I hated it
That's
before
what-
it was cool.
Exactly.
An anti-hipster.
When you say you never liked comic movies while quoting a comic
That's
book
what I was
movie.
getting at. I was quoting a comic book movie. As I
Hell
say.
yes. I mean, at least the Dark Knight movies are actually solid.
To be fair, I really just watched only the Joker scenes of that movie.
I mean, that's respectable.
I didn't see the first one. I watched the Joker scenes of the second one, and then I saw the third one, and that's it.
You don't need to watch the first one.
Are we talking about Heath Ledger's Joker?
Alright,
I get sad every time I talk about Heath Ledger, man.
Dude, that truck chase scene is so nice in that movie. Where they
All
flip
of
the
Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger is just a fucking beautiful man. Just so. I'm so sad that he died. God damn.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if he had continued living, I think he would have been like a top movie star of our generation.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think he would have been way up there. Because people like knew him as a teenage heartthrob before that.
Mhm.
He was in like a bunch of romance movies, and he was in Brokeback Mountain and whatever. And then he got cast for the Joker, and everyone was like, "What are they doing?" this guy's like a cute boy. How are they gonna cast him for the Joker? Like he's gonna be a horrible Joker, not scary at all.
And he
Especially
was
for like a darker Batman.
terrifying.
And then he like comes out, oh, why so serious? And people are like, what the hell? Where did this guy come from? Because he just has such a range of acting ability. Yeah.
It
Brutal.
really shows, especially after. I mean, I haven't seen the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
It's apparently
I don't
very
think
good.
I ever. Really?
Yeah, I've heard that it was
Oh.
pretty
Mhm.
damn good.
I even liked it, and I didn't think I would ever like another Joker after Heath Ledger.
I guess I need to check it out.
It's a very different style of Joker.
Yeah, that's why I managed to like it. It's because it was very much his own
Yeah,
thing.
like Heath Ledger had he says he doesn't have a plan, but he really does have a plan, and he's like driving towards something, and like it's I don't know how to describe it, but then Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is just like a dude who hit rock bottom and stopped caring and just goes from there.
Yeah, just kind of kept getting shit on by
And
everyone.
then just went,
constantly.
all right, well, I guess that's my life, and if this is my life and this is what I've been dealt, I guess I'm just gonna,
If everyone hates me anyway, might as well just fucking go for it.
There's no real rhyme or reason to it. There's no, I want to show people like this thing. I want to expose these hypocrisies of the government or the people, or it's just like, you guys suck, and if I show it, I will.
Imagine like, you know the book The Stranger?
No, sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Uncultured.
anyway, moving on.
Yeah, because John sucks.
Yeah, so that book is like very uncomfortable and pretty boring in my opinion. I don't
Wait a
like it lot.
minute.
But Albert Camus, we read it for AP Euro.
I may have read it, but it's somewhere in my head.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but like with good camera work instead of a boring book. It's a movie with good camera work, but kind of like a similar message. But honestly, I feel like it was better delivered just because it wasn't miserable to go through. The Stranger is just a miserable experience to read, in my opinion.
I wouldn't.
It's very boring and like.
That's like most of the books, classical books we read in English, like The Catcher in the Rye or the Great Gatsby.
Dude, Catcher in the Rye was. I like Catcher in the Rye.
It was okay. Like it was definitely better than people were saying it was, but it was still like,
I feel like I'd appreciate Catcher in the Rye more if I actually wasn't a monkey brain when I was reading it. I don't know.
Catcher in the Rye was very sensory. I read it in college. I actually didn't read it in high school.
That might be the difference. I read it in high school.
Yeah, I was too
hardly
monkey brain
read-
to read it, I think. And when I say monkey brain, I just mean I'm a dumbass high school student, not like it's some kind of intellectual novel or something. Just that I just know how much of a fucking idiot I was in high school.
It also helps that I primarily read Catcher in the Rye while riding on the bus to and from school before the sun came up and after the sun went down. So I was like reading it most like in a dimly lit bus lighting, which really fit the mood of the book.
Yes, that would.
And it really like got me into the book. And the book is very sensory. That's the other thing, is that Salinger is really good at like delivering sensory information through reading, which made the book really enjoyable for me.
Okay. John, you like The Great Gatsby? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it, probably from like a more of a historical lens than anything else.
Yes, that was the interesting part. But anything outside of like whatever happened with like, what was it, Buchanan and Daisy and whoever the Gatsby?
Bro, you remember the names?
Yeah, I remember their names.
I respect that.
Fucking nerd.
Because like for like it's like an interesting display into how Scott Fitzgerald tried to visualize the Roaring Twenties through like the petty dramas and just all the movement, like this kind of like romantic idea of success and stuff like that.
I still found it to be just like, oh my god, I don't care what happens with Daisy. I don't care if she stays with Buchanan or goes back with Gatsby or any of the idiocy that goes,
The green light at the end of the
or if
dock.
Buchanan was sleeping with that one dude's wife at the gas station or whatever was happening.
And like how it escalates at the end where people are dying and getting shot.
People
It's like,
literally got
whoa.
run over. I was just like, what the hell?
things are going crazy.
These people are awful people, and yeah, I don't care about it.
I actually kind of like that style of book. Not necessarily Gatsby, because that one didn't click with me very well. I really like Burmese Days by George Orwell.
Yeah, I feel like from the amount of times you talk about Burmese Day, you must really like it.
I really like Burmese Days, and I don't necessarily know exactly why I like Burmese Days so much, but I really like Burmese Days.
Well, like there's like a book that I used to read all the time, and it's like a very, very simple book. It's just a
Dune?
It's called the no, it's not Dune.
Simple.
Yes.
The Tale of Despero. It's a book about a mouse.
Oh yeah.
Like I read that book since like I was like first grade, and like up until like maybe junior year or even senior year of high school, I would like always just read it once in a while. Like I straight up like have the story memorized, and it's like not even like fancy or anything. It's just a story about a mouse who read too much fable stories, and like kind of like fell in love with a human princess, and like basically like all the rats around him call him like a fucking idiot that isn't scavenging, and he like ends up thinking he's like a hero and like picks up a needle to try to save the princess or something like that.
Does he save the
I'm
princess?
trying to surmise it really quickly.
You think that dog movie where the dog thinks it's actually a superhero is inspired by Despero?
Maybe, I don't know, but
Bolt? Is that the name of it?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Quick question. Did the mouse save the princess? And then Mary said princess.
I don't think so. If I remember correctly, he pokes the giant rat that tries to kidnap the princess, and then he kind of comes back to home. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know the ending. Right when I just said I remembered the story. So I feel dumb now. But anyway,
I think this is
I can't remember exactly what the ending was, but I know he doesn't marry the princess.
Oh, good. No bestiality. I'm happy.
No bestiality. I think like for the most part.
No mouse furries.
Yeah, for the most part, the princess is just charmed by like the mouse, and like the mouse actually does end up like saving the day, I guess, because he like fights off the giant rat. But it turns out like the rat's not like a terrible person. I needed to reread the story now.
John,
Clearly.
instead of rereading that story, you could read Foundation or Dune.
You know, I saw Dune at Target recently, and I was debating
You
buying
should buy it and read it, John. I'm ashamed of you that you didn't just do that immediately.
There are cool like special edition covers of Dune coming out now because they're making that TV show.
And the movie, right?
Yep, they're making a movie.
Oh, is it a movie, not a TV show?
Yeah, there's
It's
a
a
movie
movie.
coming out or something.
I thought it was a show.
Yeah, it's the movie with Mary Jane in it,
Yeah.
and the guy that was Henry the Fifth.
All I know is I did not like that. I did not like that trailer at all.
Well, it's designed to just get people's attention.
Yes.
Like even Blade Runner's trailer was pretty like action heavy, but like it wasn't really like crazy actiony, if I remember correctly, for Blade Runner.
Blade Runner was so weird for me because when I watched it, I was like, "This is a really good movie. I think I'm gonna like enjoy watching this again someday." Like, I feel like this is gonna be a movie that I can rewatch and enjoy. And then I entirely forgot it within like a week. But I really didn't. I really thought that I was gonna remember it for a while, and then I just totally blanked out on the new Blade Runner.
I was engaged with the movie for maybe the first half hour, but I was watching it at 4 a.m. and I had not slept the previous day, and then I realized, yeah,
definitely not the movie for that.
Yeah, like I was so engaged during some like the first parts of it, then I was like, holy shit, I'm tired, and then I just couldn't pay attention anymore.
Is this like your?
I thought it was really.
Oh, is this like your Tinker Tailor days where you're just like forcing yourself to watch that film?
With Tinker Tailor, I came mentally prepared for it. Mentally and emotionally prepared for the great cauldron and gauntlet that is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I brought Red Bull and everything for that shit. I was ready.
It was only 6 hours.
For the most part, I felt like I was engaged the whole time. And then but it's just for Blade Runner. I knew it was gonna be like kind of like kind of like really like how do I say this? Like kind of like
80s slow.
Yeah, like really like heavy in like the setting establishment shots and stuff like that. Like I knew it was gonna be like that, but clearly I wasn't that ready for it.
God damn, I love my establishment shots.
Of course.
God damn, I love
Man,
them.
I just
That's-
rewatched Mandalore
okay.
and I realized how much I like season 1 over season 2.
That is one of the biggest things that I can actually like pin down of why I don't like a lot of modern movies and TV shows is the lack of establishment shots. Like legitimately, that drives me crazy.
They have fucking seizures, dude. They don't set up anything.
There's an establishment
Yeah.
shot?
Just literally shots of the scenery showing you where geographically the scene is going to be taking.
Yeah, like
Okay.
building context and framing.
Like in Game of Thrones, the earlier seasons had establishment shots before every time they switched characters. And that let you actually know what the fuck was happening at all.
Yeah, because like in the later seasons, they didn't really do that as often, or when they did, it felt like they were having a seizure.
And the characters were like teleporting across the entire continent. Where
This
like
is true.
in earlier seasons it would take them months, or not months, but like weeks to travel across the continent.
Yes.
And like, yeah, and then the later ones they were just like teleporting across the continent and no establishing shots, so you didn't actually even know where they were talking. And then they would like vaguely mention that all of a sudden they're in Winterfell again. I'm like, but you were just in King's Landing. There was no establishment shot that told me that you traveled across the entire continent. What the hell's happening?
Like I think it's season 1. Kat, for the most part, you can kind of understand where she is, even though she's traveling all the time. Like,
Mhm.
and like for the most part, it's from episode to episode where she's actually moving, not like scene to scene. And
The writing is just not as planned in the later seasons.
oh,
And it's
sweet
very
Jesus.
obvious.
Yeah. God, now I'm sad.
It just like degrades over time. That's what I like. That's one thing that I do remember I really liked about the new Blade Runner and why I thought I would remember it for a while. They had a lot of establishment shots and just like the vibes were 80s. Like they actually captured the feeling of an 80s.
Yeah, like there's some serious like callbacks to Blade Runner OG from what I remember correctly from a lot of the stuff.
And just like, yeah, even more than just like, because the Star Wars sequels have callbacks to
Yeah.
the original, where they're like, TIE fighters!
No, those aren't callbacks.
And,
That's fan service.
I have a bad feeling about
Yeah,
this.
when I
saying
say
it for
when
the
I say
18th
callbacks,
time.
yeah, when I say callbacks, I mean like it
Homage.
encapsulates the energy. Like, yeah.
An homage to the.
That wasn't an homage. That was just we're fan servicing. Hey, you remember ATSTs? ATST.
No, we're talking about Blade Runner though. It was doing homages to the.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was kind of zoned out. I just got back because I heard Star Wars.
No,
Actually-
don't worry, Rush. We know you.
In the 9th movie, there was one thing I actually unironically enjoyed in the 9th movie, and I don't know if they did it on purpose, but the fight between Rey and Kylo.
Oh, in the
on that
water?
water planet.
Yeah.
The cinematography mirrored that of Anakin versus Obi-Wan on Mustafar.
I can guarantee you right now there was a boardroom reading with concept art where they planned that shit
Yes,
out.
that is absolutely planned.
And I can
And-
see what you're talking about too, now that I'm thinking back to it.
I was like, that. I actually unironically was like, this is sweet.
I'm trying to think. I think the parts of all of the new movies that resonate the most with me is the sheer amount of aimbot everybody had. Like their blaster bolts were just tagging stormtroopers left and right. Like it was just so impressive. Like it's just like it's like they had one of those smart guns in Cyberpunk. They were just like tracking. It was incredible. Like at least in like episode 4, like Solo would shoot and then you could see him kill somebody, and like he was putting effort into his shots and like running away because there was a lot of people. Not
suppressing. It's kind of like lob a few back, but miss.
not staying full auto and just watching an entire hallway of a battalion of stormtroopers just disappear.
Yeah, the bad guys were not threatening.
And the good guys were not
series.
competent. Like, the heroes were not competent. The bad guys were not threatening and competent. Like, it was It was just two idiots going at it.
There's
I
just
don't
no
care.
weight to anything.
There's no weight here.
It's just like, oh, big Doom laser. It uses sun gun. Oh, sun gun gone now. Big ship. Ooh, kamikaze. Oh, hey, remember that guy? Yeah, he's not dead. He got big laser. Full fleet. Yes. Horsies win battle.
Remember when the big existential threat was one giant planet-destroying gun? Now, here's the new pitch. We have a lot of giant planet-destroying guns.
Why could it have just been a gunfight on a moon somewhere? This is why
I probably wouldn't have hated them as much if I hadn't have known who was directing them too. Because it's like his thing. I forgot his name right now.
You're not talking about Ryan
But,
Johnson, are you?
No, the other guy.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, because his entire thing is just taking what has been done earlier in the series and making it bigger. So it was like really very obvious to me what was happening, and I felt played.
He's a serious, high energy, like kind of like action movie director. Like
He literally is just like what has been done previously in the series, because he rarely ever writes original stories.
Yeah.
He was like piggybacks off of older series, and then he's like, okay, what did they do? We're just gonna do exactly that, but on a larger scale. Darth Sidious had Force Lightning. Now he has like big Force Lightning.
One twist. Now we have Rey and Kylo Ren making out.
But it wasn't. Romantic.
She's a Sidious.
Here's the big twist. Rey shoots lightning by accident.
Whoa.
Doesn't Rey straight up like come back to life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
Okay.
I love. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. John.
No, go for it. No, go.
Kylo Ren apparently
I love
sacrificed himself so that she could come back to life. Or something. I don't know.
I love the actors reacting to the scene of the stormtroopers like flying, and the good guys are like, "They fly now," and they're like, "They fly now," and the videos of the actors responding like, "I don't know why." Like, we tried to talk them out of that scene because they've flown since the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
and even the actors were like, "I hated that line. I wish we didn't need to say
The
it." but
delivery
they
was
wouldn't
so
let us
terrible
stop.
too.
What's that?
The delivery's just terrible on those lines too.
Yeah, because
like,
they didn't want to do it.
it just
They were like, "Please don't make us say this.
it
This is
feels so
stupid."
dead.
Jango Fett flew in like episode 2.
Oh, sweet mother of God.
They've been flying for like centuries.
I like how like
We
there's
have spaceships.
there's no continuity. That's the thing about like a lot of crazy nitpicks is that like it's just funny because so much stuff is like there's like no continuity to a lot of stuff.
No.
Like they'll all of a sudden like forget that the Force exists. Like they'll
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, did you hear about the Legends of the Jedi, bro? They're still alive.
Yeah.
Luke is still alive."
Or my favorite.
when you
Like,
talk,
this was
My favorite was
Oh,
like
go
the
ahead, Fletcher.
hyperspace stuff. Where it's like, oh my god, they're tracking us through hyperspace. I thought that was like a canonical thing. People have been doing that, calculating hyperspace routes. In the Old Republic, they built a gun that could shoot through hyperspace. So like
it's just
everything is regressing, and it makes no sense.
the Force one is the one that really blows me away because like they make it sound like they talk about the legends. I thought those were just stories about Leia and Han Solo, and I'm sitting here like Leia is a general in the Republic
Right now.
and she's still alive. Like if you were
well,
like
they were
Luke,
trying to play off of in episode 4. They're like, "Oh, did you hear Legends of the Jedi?" And even that didn't make sense because that was only like 60 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
So,
like in the if we think about the whole chronology of the fall of the Republic to the Empire might possibly be one of the most failed states in galactic history.
Yeah.
Because like it legitimately lasts less than one generation.
Yep.
people just have really bad memories in Star Wars.
Yeah, it just keeps like even in Mandalorian, like the show, they talk about how like who has like when the people start using the Force around them, the Mandalorian's like, who has such powers? I have heard of a clique of sorcerers called the Jedi. I'm like, I thought you guys were Mandalorians.
Yeah, you fucking hate your
You
whole
guys-
culture
How
is to kill
how
these
the
people.
hell? Do you guys not know what the fuck a Jedi is?
A Mandalorian
Like,
would
if-
see someone using the Force and legitimately just go, all right, you're going to die right now. We're going to fight
yes,
in Mortal
so-
Kombat, in glorious melee.
Or even like within the first, within like the 9th movie, the first scene, Rey is levitating, and like levitating a bunch of like really heavy boulders all around her that are probably like thousands of
That's-
pounds in total.
There's
And then they fall into this quicksand, and they're like, "Oh no, we're gonna die. We're gonna fall into quicksand. We can't do anything." And she's literally like sitting right there. Like you could just levitate everybody out.
There is actually a scene, apparently, there's a similar thing in the Jedi Temple where there's a bunch of stone pillars like that. Apparently, it is a mark of a master if you could lift all 6 of those rocks and hold them all in the air. So Rey went from, like, someone who knows nothing to a literal master in however long that series is.
And then I guess just forgot it as soon as
She forgot.
she could, really use that power.
It's like the same thing with Spider-Man's Spidey senses. They forget it when the movie needs them to.
Or Ant-Man's mass. Does it change? Does it stay the same? Does he create a black hole, or does he punch like really weak when he's in ant form? I don't understand.
So when he
'cause,
goes
like-
to the subatomic level, how does he breathe? Because he's now smaller than the oxygen he needs to take it.
Oh, now we're asking the real questions.
Now this isn't even mass related. This is volume related. Now we're getting to like the real problems stated, like not let alone the other problems.
Oh no, we got the comic books. No.
Does he also does he have a tank with him that also shrinks the oxygen? So now the oxygen atoms are like beyond
Well,
subatomic.
doesn't he? Because he has the mask with like the air canister.
Yeah,
looking
so it
things.
would
I
shrink with
assume.
him or something.
What would happen?
I assume that those are air
What
filled.
would happen if you shrank oxygen to that level?
I don't know.
'Cause
The density, and what does like the change in density, or does his mass change? Because that's the other thing, is that sometimes he's like a small ant form and he punches a dude, and the dude goes like fucking sailing because he just got punched in he would die because you're literally getting the mass of a 200-pound man
in one
thrown
tiny
at your
area,
head. Yeah,
that would instantly
the
kill
size
someone.
of an ant.
Okay, so guys, I must ask a very serious question now. Who would win in a fight, the Flash or Keanu Mundi?
The Flash.
Yeah, I feel like that one's
The
pretty easy.
Flash.
He can literally freeze time because he moves so
He
fast.
literally
Yeah, he-
punches with the density of a dwarf star. Apparently.
He also travels through space-time.
Yeah, Kiadi Mooney's fucked, bro.
He's dead. He wouldn't even know what hit him. He's just dead.
I just love those types of debates. I love them.
I
so
don't
much.
care if he's got
Yeah,
two
that one was
brains
too
and a
easy.
heart in his head.
Wait,
That's
he's a
just two
space marine?
brains.
The reason he's got that big head is I think there's a heart in his head to supply blood.
Wait, the Emperor protects?
If,
Oh my god, did Robo Gilliman confirmed?
All that means is Thea has an extra brain and extra heart for Flash to completely vaporize.
Turn the fucking dust when he sprints through the space-time continuum.
exactly. I also learned that
They're just-
apparently Robo Gilliman liked to joke around and crack jokes, or jests as he called them. I am not happy about this development.
That sounds like a whole lot of Imperium propaganda that would be shoved down a Hive City.
Apparently, he liked to do that, and I don't like
Anything
it.
that's remotely humanizing for a Primarch at that point in their life, I
No, this was
I
a new
chopped that
book.
too.
This was the new book, him legit saying
Oh,
it.
book you say? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So you've been reading the Magistorium's propaganda, I see.
No, I was on Reddit, and I saw someone else read it and quoted it.
Yes.
Yes.
So he read the Magistorium's propaganda.
Yes, exactly.
I see.
Yes.
How about John Wick versus Heath Ledger's Joker?
John
Well, I mean,
Wick?
isn't Heath Ledger gonna OD? Is it
No,
already
his
over?
Joker, like
Oh.
his character, not him.
Oh,
Heath
okay.
Ledger's Joker. John Wick
Isn't like
versus
John
Joker.
Wick like wouldn't John Wick just delete
Yeah,
him?
isn't John Wick an actual fighter?
Like from the context of the movies of John Wick, he's literally just a one-man murder machine, while Heath Ledger is a crazy person with a knife in his shoe.
Yeah, but he's tricksy.
Yeah. I don't
He
think
has-
that will help him.
He has a crew though too. I mean, he's taking on Batman. So John Wick versus Batman.
Oh.
Because like Joker could have probably beaten Batman. In reality, I mean, he had plenty of opportunities to. Like, I feel like
Actually,
if Batman can beat John Wick, then Joker can.
well, if the movie had been realistic, I feel like both people would have blown up the other boats and proved Joker right. So
That is my honestly, I would have preferred that.
I would have
ending, too.
preferred that ending if they just blown up both boats and proven Joker right, and Joker's just laughing
and then
on his way to
put-
Arkham City.
Put like Batman into
That's
like a
when,
PTSD stream.
Yeah,
That's when comic book movies still tried to be upbeat. At the end of the day,
Too damn optimistic for me.
or the policemen that have been holed up in this underground in their police uniforms, all of a sudden all going in to fight the crazy gun-toting whatever at the end of the third movie. That was realistic.
Oh yes. You know what would have been really nice?
To see them all run away.
If the police sided with Bane.
Yes, that would have been better.
This is Batman versus the whole damn city trying to stop a
Wait,
dude.
Yes.
you're saying we don't need to work, and since we have guns, we can just like take whatever you want.
Wait, we don't
Yeah.
have to listen to the mayor anymore? I'm sorry.
I'm
We're-
good with that.
We're not beholden to the U.S. government anymore for our actions because it's a nuke in the city. I'm sorry.
All right. Nice. Let's do it.
Purge.
All of a sudden, and then Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Commissioner Gordon, and then Batman, Catwoman against the whole damn city. That'd be fun.
That would have been a fun ending.
Yeah, and
I
then
always
all of a
forget that Joseph Gordon-Levitt wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know why. I always feel like he's a bad guy in that movie, but he's
Wait,
not.
really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just
I
get
like-
that feeling.
I like how
from
they
his
very
character.
casually put a plug in saying that he was Dick Grayson at the very end of the movie. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way,
Mhm.
guys, that cop is Robin."
Nice.
At the very end, when it doesn't matter.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a long movie talk today.
Yeah, I guess.
I like it.
Remember, did anyone see Stranger Things?
Nope.
And
Yes.
Samwise, I forgot the actor's name. but
Oh,
Sam Gamgee, this guy. Everyone thought that he was a bad guy, and the directors were like, "What? Oh yeah, he wasn't never supposed to be a bad guy. We just added him to be to cause a love triangle." But I was convinced that he was like a secret agent. I've watched too much Joss Whedon shit. Because if Joss Whedon had directed Stranger Things, that character would have definitely been a double agent.
I've only seen season 1 of Stranger Things, but I know what you're talking about.
Spoiling it all.
I have no idea what
How
you're
dare you.
talking about.
Not really. It just becomes a comedy especially after the second season.
Season 1 wasn't bad. It wasn't like anything like to write like anything legendary, but it's like a nice 80s vibe TV show.
I'd say it was good. Season 1 was like a solid good. Season 2 was okay, and season 3 is a comedy. So I don't even know how to grade it on the same scale as the others.
Was it as good
Yeah.
as How I Met Your Mother?
No. No. It wasn't like the best comedy.
I
Like-
absolutely hate that show, by the way. So that's why I was referencing.
I really wish they hadn't have just turned it into a comedy, but 'cause it was actually pretty decent, like thriller. And
Yeah.
they completely abandoned like a lot of plot lines that I was like, "What?"
Like season 1 kept my attention for the majority of it. Like it
Yeah.
was I wasn't glued to the screen, but I was engaged enough to watch the whole thing through.
Oh yeah, and whatever happened to the Iron Bank in Game of Thrones? Switching gears again,
We don't talk about that.
because that was like a major threat to Cersei's reign. At
Dude,
the,
they
towards
threw
the
away
middle-
so many side plots because they just had to put like stuff a pillow on top of the show. They didn't know how the fuck to end it.
Because the Iron Bank kept threatening her, and then eventually they just like disappeared from the story, and it was like, okay, I guess they
she
are paper
she,
tiger.
she
Remember the
casually
gold company
assassinated all of them
Dude,
with her
the very
phenomenal
idea-
intellect because that she gained suddenly.
The very idea of Cersei even maintaining control is such a meme.
Right?
Like
That, I can't imagine that's actually where the books were
I
headed.
cannot believe Jamie did not stab her at any point in that last season. I Like, I just can't fathom
But he
it.
loved her and wanted to sleep with her again and died with her.
He got that Gigantor puss though. That's all you need.
Apparently.
The giantess. Oh, what did Thorman call her? The big woman?
Yeah.
God.
Thick gals.
Oh,
Phasma.
God. Why? Oh my God, I forgot she was Captain Phasma.
Dude, what a waste of like a really good actress. Honestly.
What a waste of shiny armor.
Yes, what a waste.
Like when I read the Game of Thrones books, that's one of the only her and Sean Bean are pretty much like the only actors that I visualize in my head when I'm reading the
The
book.
Hound?
Otherwise I come up No. The Stark, like the main what you think is supposed to be the main protagonist in the first book that gets decapitated.
Oh, okay, got you.
Sean Bean, yeah.
Yeah, Boromir.
Boromir. You have my shield.
Donk. Yep.
Yeah, he's those two are like the only ones that those are how I visualize them when I read the books. All the rest of them, yeah.
After I realized how young Rob is compared to the show, yeah.
And Thorman is he has white hair in the book. Thorman Giantsbane, he's not a ginger. Well, he might be a ginger, but he has white hair because he's old.
Maybe Ygritte?
He's not young. What's up?
I think I see Ygritte.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just glad I never got into Game of Thrones. Never watched it.
I mean,
because
honestly,
a
like,
heartbreak.
no matter how disappointing it was, I still like have nostalgia for the old seasons. Like, I still really enjoyed them when I watched them. They're good. It's just like,
I feel like my annoyance would have overridden any nostalgia I had, and I know the books are probably never going to be finished, so I'm just happy not having it end on a dead end.
yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. They're probably not going to. Maybe.
I mean, Georgie's
Miracles
pretty
happen.
big and pretty old.
He doesn't have any kids. He doesn't have a Christopher Tolkien to.
Or
Take
whoever
over his
Frank
books.
Herbert's son was. Because
Yeah.
that's what happened with Dune.
I mean,
Foundation got picked up by someone that wasn't related, right?
I have no idea. No, Foundation was stupid
Well,
after the third one because they tried to merge iRobot and Foundation together, and then it was like fourth and fifth one were just kind of like, I'm not interested. So I canonically,
iRobot?
there's only 3 Foundation books for me.
Wait, is the Will Smith movie iRobot in any association with the Dune series?
It is the iRobot series was written by Isaac Asimov, who also wrote Foundation.
Is the movie iRobot based off of that?
Yes. The laws of
head right
robotics and all that stuff. Yes, that is all. In the iRobot series, it was like a series of like detective clues where it's like, so there's the 3 laws of robotics, and each time like a robot would like screw up or seemingly screw up, and they would try to figure out why it was screwing up, but it would turn out that they're not screwing up, that they're actually just following the protocol, but they would be following it in like weird ways where like, oh, you can't hurt a human, so they're doing this. And something is making it weird so that they don't break any of those protocols, but then that causes this weird behavior to happen.
You will make paper clips. I will make paper clips. Dear God. It's eating the moon!
My head.
Stop! I will make paper clips.
My head really can't wrap around the idea that a Will Smith action movie is based off the Dune series.
It's not the Dune series, it's the Foundation.
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
iRobot
the Isaac Asimov
series.
one.
Isaac Asimov, yeah.
The iRobot series. Yeah, my bad. That's just weird to think about.
Which is now related to Foundation.
Yes, which is now related to Foundation, which I don't agree with at all, and it ended at the 3rd book.
Long story short, Raj, I'm going to sit you down and make you watch the first season of Game of Thrones at some point.
No, I'm not doing that.
And you'll hear...
I'll get Marcus to help me sit you down. We'll find a good chair to strap you into.
Like, the first season, you can watch it and just be like, oh, that's how it ends. Dude gets his head chopped off, and now they're all, like, chill.
I mean, it's a very good ending. It's a very good cliffhanger.
Yeah. Definitive. You can't get much more definitive than your protagonist getting his head chopped off.
Even their gods are wrong. Why don't we rule our own
Seems
again?
done to me. Oh, sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, that's all good. I was just trying to do Great John Umber's speech when he was declaring Roth King of the North.
Oh. King of the North.
God, it was so hype.
It was. And he dies.
Yep.
Then they all die. I can't. I'm in Clash of Kings right now, I think,
Mhm.
and it's the Kraken storyline is boring to me.
Oh, the
Like the
Kraken
Iron
stuff?
Isles.
Yeah, I don't really give much of a shit about the Iron Isles.
I was like, George, what are you doing here?
The Iron Isles,
You
I
could have
feel
finished.
like
You could have finished those last 2 books instead of writing this Iron Isles bullshit.
I feel like if anything, the Iron Isles is kind of a good representation of basically like romantic LARPers holding on to a Viking past. That's how I look at the Iron Isles. Like they're like
Yeah,
so
pretty
stuck.
much.
They're so stuck in their Viking LARPer stage that they don't realize that people made kingdoms already.
Like, bruh, we have plate.
It's like, boys, calm down. You are 3 islands with a giant continent the size of China bordering you, okay? You need to get with the tides and start fishing.
Pay your liege their fish.
They're literally
and they will
LARPers,
not
Rush. Like,
crush you.
they fucking love, like, they keep talking about going back to reaving, which is like George R. R. Martin's term for Viking shit again. And like, it's so depressing to watch. You're just sitting here like, guys, you're gonna kill off another generation. Didn't you already rebel and this ended horribly?
And the fact that they like won some battles, I'm like, okay, yeah.
Bullshit.
This shouldn't happen.
And they don't like build their own armor either. They only take armor off of like their
No.
conquest. So I'm like, you have shit armor, and you're going up against like, no, get the
Like-
fuck out of here.
like the
you didn't
mountain-
win anything.
The
I don't
mountain
believe
tribes, honestly, the mountain folk in the Eyrie, the Eyrie or whatever it's called, those guys are probably doing a much better job at anything that Iron Islands has tried to do for their entire existence. The mountain tribes have never stopped fighting, and they don't have an island to protect them. They're literally in the mountains on the continent.
you. Well, they have guerrilla warfare. And after Tyrion, he gave them a bunch of armor and weapons
Yeah.
of like quality steel
Half
armor and
man.
weapons.
Half man. Mountain tribe's my favorite.
I don't care about
Tyrion's
Game
such
of
a
Thrones.
Chad. And there hasn't been like any Tyrion or Jon Snow for like half the book. I'm like, I'm
Wait, what-
losing interest, George. Come
Wait,
on,
what book
man.
are you in?
Clash of Kings? I think? No.
Clash of Kings. That can't be Clash of Kings.
Oh, Feast of Crows.
Okay, yeah, because Clash of Kings, I was about to say, like, half of that book is Tyrion.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Feast of Crows.
Like, Clash of Kings is
Feast
so
for
good.
Crows.
Every
It
single...
has Brienne, though. Brienne is keeping me going because she's pretty dope.
Oh, yeah. Brienne's cool. So is Jaime. I like Jaime.
True. You don't get very much of Jaime either. Everything with Jaime is like from Cersei's point of view, other than one chapter or two. 1 or 2 chapters.
I kind of want
It's
to reread
like-
Clash of Kings now.
Cersei is so annoying. She thinks she's smart. Like, I don't know how in the show she went from thinking she was smart to actually somehow being smart and succeeding.
Hmm
Like, she is not smart in the book at all.
Yeah, she's a fucking idiot, Raj. That's why it was so blown away
Oh yeah,
that
I
she
know.
got so smart.
That,
Like,
that makes it even
yeah.
better for me at all times because she turns into a genius overnight. When I thought that Tyrion, is that his name, the dwarf?
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought he was supposed to be the genius who just figured stuff out, but then and his sister was like the idiot who he mocks, but then she turned into a genius, and I don't know.
Yeah, D&D somehow, like, thought that she was actually smart in the book. Like, in the book, she mostly just gets lucky. And honestly, Tyrion helps her gain more power than she ever would have without
So she's
Tyrion
the
around.
anti-Thrawn.
Yeah, she's got a very serious ego problem. She's like the embodiment of one of those imperial administrators that sucks off the emperor to get his job.
She is literally the
And then
opposite
she's like-
of Thrawn, who only loses because everyone gets lucky or plot armor, but he's so good. So she is so bad, but she only succeeds because she gets lucky.
She has like an ultra ego problem. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, and like she's always talking before she got power. She was always like, "Oh, my father would be so much like he would do so much better if he just didn't have all these wasteful advisors like dragging him down. When I become the ruler, I'm not gonna have any of these useless people. People are gonna do what I tell them." And then she like comes to power and she gets to pick her own council, and then she complains like in her head constantly about how useless they all are. Like, you can't even complain. You appointed them. What are you talking about?
Like, I'm going to guess that maybe like something happens, like kind of maybe with the crows or something, where like she does eventually snap or maybe do some things intelligent, or just snaps and blows up the whole city or something. I don't know, but like the idea that she becomes cold and calculating is just feels really out of character from how they did
Well,
it.
they're foreshadowing that she goes crazy like, or not there.
Yeah.
George is foreshadowing that she goes crazy like Ares. Because literally, Jamie was like, and he saw the fire in her eyes that reminded him of Ares.
Like the whole
Shit.
thing about
She's
the
going crazy.
prophecy, like yeah, like the whole thing about the
And she's
prophecy, right?
she's talking about how paranoid she is about like Tyrion living in the walls, listening to them.
Yeah.
Like she's clearly like losing it and starting to blow shit up.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, the prophecy. She's going crazy about the prophecy. So, like,
I always hated
Yeah,
prophecy
exactly.
in films. I always hated them.
Well, yeah, George R. R. Martin kind of uses prophecy to troll people. Like he kind of like uses it as a message to say you shouldn't follow prophecy.
Yes, good.
Greek
Yeah.
uses it as a Greek drama. Uses it
Yeah, because
like how
yeah.
self-fulfilling. Like you get told the prophecy, and then you trying to like avoid it
It
ends up
happens. Yeah,
cause it.
that's actually common in Asian culture too. So this is just common everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Oedipus.
Yeah, because one of the major prophecies that Cersei got um was that her younger sibling would kill her. So she was like completely convinced it meant Tyrion, but I think technically Jaime's younger than her. So a lot of people think Jaime's gonna kill her.
Yep.
And like there's like so many other portions of the theory of the prophecy that she got, and like all of it is like basically coming true. Like a good portion of it came true, at least in like from the words of the prophecy. So that's why she's like probably more and more convinced, especially if the paranoia that Marcus was talking about, that the rest is gonna come to be, and she's like losing her mind.
So
Oh
I'm just
man.
glad that they're not doing anything with the Old Republic because that's the only part of Star Wars I like, and I don't
You
want
just
anyone
jinxed
to
it,
touch
brother.
them.
Yeah, D&D was like trying to rush through Game of Thrones to like start work on their Star Wars money. I mean film. But then they like rushed Game of Thrones so much that they screwed it up so bad that Disney was like, "Nah, bro, you're not coming to work for us anymore."
Oh man, I'm sad.
They lost their job.
I'm sad.
They biffed it so hard. And George was like trying to convince them to do like 3 more seasons or something. He was like, "Yeah, we could go on for like ever. Honestly, there's so much more to do."
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it made. Honestly, if they just kept it, if they just stuck with it, like there's like Perot. That's a great example where that one actor played Perot for like 40 years and played that character, and that was just it. He made all of his money off that one series. They could have done that same thing where they just kept that series going, and then they were set for life, and everyone would have liked them, or a lot of people would have, and defended them.
They literally
I would have stuck
had a
with it.
golden. They had a golden goose. They just needed to sit around and let George write their show for them
Yeah, just let her
and take the
roost.
credit.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they had to do, but they didn't want to do that.
Oh my god, it's just like Marcus, we haven't even brought up the long night yet. And
Oh,
like
Catapults
it's
at the
just
front.
trebuchets, but yes.
Whatever. I thought it was catapults.
Sally forth onto an overwhelming force that isn't participating in a siege,
Half are gone.
and they're all still.
You know those those
This is
Dothraki
the
that
end. This is the end of the Dothraki. Half are gone. Another all back.
you
They
like oh
breed
my
like
god,
fucking
Raj, I literally
bunnies.
want to like show you the scene where the Dothraki charge if you've never seen it, just so you can see how stupid it sounds when they said half are gone.
No, they gone. They all gone.
They ran
In
it down
D&D,
so hard.
behind the scenes footage, D&D were like, that is essentially the end of the Dothraki.
Yeah, they said those exact words in the behind the scenes for that episode. And then in
And then the next episode, like, half are gone.
So where were the other half? The other half were just like casually sitting at the sidelines, just waiting. Go team, go!
Oh my god.
She forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Yeah,
What?
Dude, oh my
It's like,
god.
my
Fuck
my liege,
that season, man.
my liege. Half the people are still on their boats. Why are they there? Because you didn't order them to leave.
Oh my
Yup.
god. Hey, Marcus, remember when the Lannisters just very casually knocked out Dord and the House Tyrell in like off screen in like one episode?
Oh yeah. And then like Jamie had that one conversation with Lady Tyrell.
Our people are not really fighters.
Yeah, right. Like you didn't have the best knight since like Jamie as a son, right?
Also,
Or
canonically, the
grandchild.
largest army in all of Westeros.
Oh my god.
The idea that any group of people do not have a lot of fighters just is kind of ludicrous to me as an idea. Every single
It's pretty fucking
civilization
stupid.
has their fighters.
Well, it's just you're one of the absolutely major houses in all of Westeros, and the civil wars are still going. Like it's never stopped. Like the House of Tyrell is actually involved in a lot of the fighting. How do they not have people?
They do. They have a lot of people.
It's stupid.
And when D&D's just started trying to like speed up the end of the show, and they just started having Cersei blow up everyone.
Oh my
Like,
god.
how do we get rid of the Sparrow? Will we blow him up? Well, we want to get rid of Marjorie too.
Blow 'em
Have her
up.
blow them both up at the same time.
Oh, dude, wait. What about all those other guys like Loris and stuff? How do we take care of those guys?
Blow them up.
God bless.
Like that never worked for anyone in the past in the show too. Like that brazen of just like, I guess it worked for the phrase, but then they got their comeuppance.
Yeah,
I guess
like
she got hers at the end of the show, but like, whatever.
I mean,
Felt weird because
it's
normally
not,
like
it's just not like it doesn't feel as like justified. It feels like it just came out of nowhere. That's the thing.
yeah,
The fact that she
normally
pulled it off
there's
is so stupid.
at least some subtlety or forethought or like planning went into that kind of action.
Yeah, like the
Earlier
Red
in the
Wedding
show.
was like it involved so many people, and then they were in, like there's justification to it. There's build up. They're in their estate, stuff like that. Like
It's foreshadowed.
yeah, like and then like it's so much better. It's Red Wedding is so much better payoff. It's not even a comparison.
Ugh. Brutal, man.
Man,
Just brutal.
yes sir. I think we're good though with the podcast.
No. I
Is
want
that
to hear you guys rant more about Game of Thrones, which I totally don't care about in any way, shape, or form. Please.
I remember when winter was coming, and then it came, and then it went. In
I
one
don't want to talk.
episode.
Okay, after this podcast is done, Raj, we do need to show you the long night just for.
No, I refuse.
Oh, it's
I refuse
so
right now.
bad.
I'm refusing.
No, they'll at least show you the horsies.
I know that the one dude who's in a wheelchair becomes king because reasons, so...
Oh no, nothing about the show's plot.
Because
just
he
about the long
doesn't
night.
want anymore.
Yes. Brand the
That's
broken.
what you want out of a king, someone who just doesn't give a shit.
The internet.
Hey, is there anything over the sea? I don't know. Why don't you go find it out? The internet is sitting right next to you. Dude, I know.
What's west of Westeros?
Oh my god, Arya not dying 800 times in the last season.
Remember when Sam is a tubby lard that can't fight, and he survived being swarmed by zombies when literal Spartans couldn't?
Right? Remember Dragonfire literally blowing up entire buildings, and then Arya getting fucking swammed by both the fire and the falling buildings, and was perfectly fine afterward.
Remember when the
like not just once, but like 5 times in one episode.
Oh my god. Hey, remember when the ballistae actually like hit their targets? When there was just 2 of them? Literally 2 shots, 2 for 2.
And then like hundreds of them shooting. Oh god, we just really didn't sleep well last night.
Guys, oh man, did somebody get rid of aim assist?
Look, guys, all of our mathematicians were killed yesterday, so we can't cite any of these up. Okay, we're shooting blind.
No, Rush. The host changed the settings to inverted controls.
That was me.
The
I did
plot,
that. I inverted all the controls.
Oh
Because
my
that is
God.
apparently weird to do. I didn't know this.
Hey,
You played
remember
too many
the
flying games when you were a
No,
kid.
but I inverted the X and the Y axis on both sticks. So both.
wait?
Oh yeah, I forgot you do that.
Wait,
That is really weird.
is that how you play like Halo?
That's how I. No, Halo can't do that. That's how I play Dark
I was about to
Souls.
ask. Wait, you play Dark Souls with inverted controls?
Everything was inverted when I played Dark
What the
Souls.
Yeah.
fuck is wrong
And then when I
with you?
tried to
Inverted
go back
both-
to like Halo, they would only invert certain places. So like half of it was like normal and I could play, but the other half wasn't inverted because it didn't let me.
Wait,
So I couldn't
what?
play.
You can't say normal. None of that is normal, Raj.
Wait,
You inverted both X and Y on both joysticks.
wait.
Well, I don't know if it
Raj.
was X and Y on both joysticks. I know I put both inverted in Dark Souls. So I put both of the things inverted as I could.
I can't even conceptualize what that would be like. You'd push
is-
down on the joystick and you'd walk forward. How is that okay in your mind? How are you like, yes, this works for me.
I
This is
don't
good.
know.
And push right on the right joystick, and my screen. Oh my god! I turns to the left.
That's why it was so
Why?
hard to go back to Halo, because I tried to invert it, but only part of it was inverted. So I couldn't invert everything. So half
I'm at a
was
loss for
normal and half of it was wrong.
Out of everything that's happened today, I'm getting angry at this, and I think we need to end the podcast. This is too far.
Yeah, this is
Can't do this.
you know like
This is
we talked
disgusting.
about dead people and stuff like that, but this is where I draw the line.
Nazis, at this point, they're fine in my book compared to this disgusting display.
I am sorry to everybody that heard that this man inverted both of his analog sticks with Dark Souls.
All right. On that note, I hope you all have a great night, and thanks for listening.
I'm normal. Shut up.
Get the fuck out of here. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.